Over 30 and struggling to build muscle, maybe slow recovery, sore joints, fat starting to build up, got you covered. Here is the exact formula that I'm using and also that my members are using so that they can build muscle, drop body fat and feel their absolute best in their 30s and beyond. I've definitely noticed a change myself this past year since turning 30. And for me, it simply was, I felt like I was overtraining even though I was doing the same sort of stuff that I'd been doing in my 20s, but somehow it was just totally kicking my ass. And that's what this video is all about. I'm going to share the exact process, the exact principles that I'm using, that my members are using so that they can build muscle, drop body fat, and improve their performance in their 30s and beyond. So the first big change I implemented was switching away from these single muscle exercises and focus on compound lifts. Compound lifts target multiple muscle groups, multi-joint focused exercises, things like squats, bench press, deadlifts. And the reason I switched away from that is to really try and get as much bang for my buck in each session that I go through, in each session, on each workout that I do. And in doing so, I keep my workouts super simple. Primarily focus on 5 to 6 exercises that I'm going to track and progress over at least a 3-month period and just push on each session. So switching to compound lifts over your single muscle group focused exercises is definitely the big one to start with. And number 2 was simply just being smarter with my training. So whereas I'd be able to grind out a session every single day, what I've done is split my training program into 3 strength days and 3 conditioning days that I do alternating throughout the week. So for me, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm in the gym, really pushing it. And then a Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, I'm running. And that balance really does work for me, reducing my load in the gym, giving me that recovery in between so that I can go hard in each session that I'm in here and really push it. And making this simple change to be smarter with my programming just simply allowed me more time to recover between sessions, which enabled me to push harder in each session that I was doing. Quite simple really, but if you're sitting slogging it and you find that you're not having that much time to recover, guarantee try splitting this down to maybe 3 or 4 sessions rather than the 6, 7 that you're used to. Prioritize recovery a wee bit more and just be smarter with your programming. And I've thrown this in here because I do want to touch on supplementation for a little second because I do think it's so important. And I'm not talking about, the stuff that's kind of circulating just now. I'm talking about just good old-fashioned, maybe some protein powder just to really up those protein levels. Creatine monohydrate, make sure you're getting enough of that in there, and that will really just help with the recovery side of things. It will help with the performance side of things. Something I'm taking on my daily basis, my whole routine is based around some protein powder, creatine. I take a multivitamin and omega-3, and then because I live in sunny Scotland, a vitamin D pill as well, just to help keep my body optimized and working efficiently. But definitely a wee bit of supplementation might help if you are someone who has been a bit sluggish and struggle with recovery like myself. Just getting the wee kind of small tweaks here and there will boost your performance. And then that couples into nutrition as well, as maybe just having that extra wee mindfulness over your kind of nutrition and maybe if there's areas of strength or weakness that you can improve. And for me, that was the supplementation side of things. So this is exactly what I take every single day. And in the last year, I've just noticed things skyrocket. You'll probably be sick of me saying this on this channel, but protein and calories do matter when it comes to trying to boost your recovery and improve your performance. I try and hit that kind of 130 to 150 grams of protein on a daily basis. The higher end of maybe that kind of 2 times body weight metric, simply to try and prioritize recovery and really get that protein synthesis happening outside of the gym. But then focus on the calories so that I'm not just trying to, so that I'm fueling my workouts. And this fuel mindset is something I'm huge with, both personally and with my members. So this fuel mindset of getting enough food in the system between workouts, pre-post recovery, that sort of thing, and just really dial in with your nutrition and also your recovery as well, because that's where you're going to make the most gains when you start to push yourself in the gym so you don't get burnt out. And I suppose one of the big ones to finish on, track your progress religiously. Now, it could be that you're maybe missing out some of the elements we've touched on before, but it could also just be as simple as you're not really tracking. You're not actually progressing your workouts on a weekly basis. You're not increasing the reps or increasing the weights. You're not, keeping tabs on, are you using the same sort of weights? Are you doing the same sort of 3 or 4 sets of 10 on the same exercises for a whole year and not seeing any improvements? Simple things like I stick to like 3 monthly blocks and reassess at the end of that. Pick your big compound lifts, prioritize them. If you get to that 3 month mark and you want to keep pushing, you keep pushing. If you're maybe wanting to switch out a couple and try some different things, that's your opportunity. But you need to be tracking your workouts religiously, otherwise, you're not going to make the progress you want to see. This sort of stuff is how I've really approached my training over the last few years, but I've noticed it big time since turning 30. And that's why I wanted to put this video out there, because I definitely have seen an increase in my strength, even though I'm training less. I've noticed my body fat percentages have dropped, I'm feeling leaner, I'm feeling fitter, and it's all because I've really adapted my training and my nutrition to prioritize more recovery elements so that I can push harder when I'm in the gym. And I think that's the big message that I want to push across here, because it's not always about go, go, go. You do need to think a wee bit smarter about how you approach your training. And simple things as well, like maybe switching from frequency to intensity around some of your workouts, like go for a shorter 40-minute session than the hour and a half you're used to, and just bang it out, shorter rest periods or whatever works for you. But as I say, this has worked for me. It's a simple, basic 5-step formula, wee checklist that I go through, and something that I've applied to my members, and they're seeing some crazy results as well, especially in the weightlifting club. That's what this is here. The 3-month programming, most of them are in 1 hour a week, and the strength gains have been phenomenal. And yeah, so every workout, every program I put together, I try and make it with these 5 components in mind, to really try and make it as efficient and optimized as possible so that I can thrive every single day, not just 1-2 days a week. And I hope that simple formula just helps you. If there's an area of maybe that you're missing out on, or an area you can strengthen, just get through that checklist and see where you can make those gains. As always, if you are new here or you're just happy to be here around this conversation, hit that subscribe button and be here every video. Switching up the routine a wee bit, we're going to be posting a couple times a week, trying to share as much value as possible. So if you like this, give it a like, hit the subscribe button, and make sure you're here for the next one. Have an awesome day.